Oh yeah, baby. Look at that. That is gonna be sick. Frame ready to go, cleaned up. Kind of. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're cranking. You guys saw us. We disassembled that front end. I should say front suspension. That stuff is heavy, man. This truck game ain't no joke. But we got the full kit here. The IFS kit from, of course, TCI. We're going to be mounting that up, or I should say mocking it up, because we want to make sure everything fits, everything's good, no issues. Obviously, we got to drill into the frame to make some new holes and stuff like that. We're going to be showing you guys all that, the entire process. And then we got to end up having to take it back off, of course, to powder coat, you name it, and then send the frame off to get powder coated. But we also got to do the rear suspension, but we won't do that in this video. But let's get started.
First up, we're going to have the cross member. Now, the cross member, you definitely could go in only one way. If you notice, the actual frame rails are not straight and they should have an angle to them. You should be able to tell really quickly. Now here I'm just kind of aligning the cross member as best as possible. It should definitely align with the 4 bolts for the most part on the bottom of the existing frame rail there. So you're going to have the 4 bolts that come in here. Those should be about a 1/2 inch bolt. Now I'm just going to kind of get them started here, and you're going to kind of want to line them up as best as possible and leave everything really loose. Don't tighten anything just yet, because you want to make sure you can get all those in there before you start tightening anything up, because you're going to have a couple more bolts on the side rail there, which you're going to have to put on with those bolts loose. Now here are the 7/16 bolts, and those should have 2 holes on each side, driver and passenger, that are already there from the factory. So utilize those holes. Again, try to use a screwdriver to kind of line up those holes as best as possible. Once you have all 4 bolts, 2 on each side, you can start tightening everything up here. You're going to have the 2 obviously on the frame rails and 2 on the lower cross member, and you can tighten all 4 of those on each side there. So that way you have a good starting point, because you're going to end up having to drill new holes on the side rail there for the new mounting holes. Here we're actually going to use a 7/16 center punch. Definitely recommend it. It helps you kind of keep those holes nice and straight and aligned. It'll make your life a lot easier. Of course, you're going to need a 7/16 drill bit, but if you notice, we actually started with a smaller drill bit to kind of just get the hole started. Definitely makes life a lot easier. And then we're going to insert the 1 bolt there dead center, and I'm also going to tighten that bolt first before I move on to the next hole, because it helps keep everything nice and lined and snug, as the other bolts are already tight. So that way you know that everything lines up, and we'll move on to the next hole. We'll do 1 hole at a time here, just to make sure that everything's nice and straight, and then the other bolt didn't move, because if it's loose, then it has a chance of kind of locking on you. Again, start with the bottom 3 bolts there, doing passenger side and driver side. Make sure they're nice and snug before you move on to the top bolt. Now the top bolt, you're going to end up drilling that one out as well, same size, 7/16, but I'm not going to end up putting that bolt in just yet, because we actually have to take everything out after this. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but must be done. Again, remove everything. If you notice here, kind of got everything nice and tight. Just kind of getting a quick look here, make sure we didn't miss anything. We got our holes already pre-drilled. Again, now it's time for disassembly. We're going to remove all the bolts, including the 4 down below at the cross member. You don't have to pull the cross member completely out. I just kind of, again, remove the bolts. Use a jack for sure, that'll help. But next up, we're going to have the actual support braces that go on the inside of the frame rail. And if you notice, they have a window that's cut out on them. It kind of goes towards the front of the truck, so that way you kind of know the difference between left and right. And then we're going to put the 4 bolts back in on the bottom of the cross member, along with the 4 bolts on the side of the bracket here. But if you notice, I'm just kind of really just making sure that we have the correct side on each side there. Yeah, exactly. Because you're going to end up having the upper control arm bracket that goes on the outside of this thing that actually will sandwich all 3 brackets together. So you're going to end up putting this guy on on top of the other bracket that's basically on the cross member through the bracket on the inside. So don't get too carried away. Again, I just kind of was mocking the other one up in place. So now you can actually put the bolts in, the ones you've already pre-drilled as well, and kind of get everything pre-lined up. And if you notice, you're going to have 3 more bolts on the top, and you're going to see that they don't really line up very well. I mean, every car is a little bit different, every chassis is a little bit different. We're going to end up actually having to ream out a little bit the back bolt. You'll see here in a sec. We'll ream that out a little bit because we had a little bit of a issue with clearance and clearing the hole on the frame. So all I did is take another 7/16 drill bit and just kind of made a little bit of extra room there. Again, use that screwdriver to kind of set everything in place, and then I'll show you guys here in a sec.
Shock towers are kind of in place, but what I'm noticing that my particular truck doesn't have the opening here for the additional bolts, so we're going to have to drill that out. Not to mention that's going to be used for the motor mount as well. But this one seems to be pretty crappy alignment. Could be the chassis, you know, there's a lot of different variables. Obviously, it is a 70s truck. Same thing on this side. We're gonna have to do that as well. We're gonna have to kind of open this up as well, and along with that one. But I went ahead and tightened these guys here, so that way I know this is all the way forward as much as possible, and then we can drill this out.
So here, actually, I'm just going to use a Sqaurebody burr bit here, and it actually works really well just to kind of open up that hole, make a little bit of extra clearance. You can see everything's nice and aligned now. We can put that bolt through there just to make sure that thing stays lined up. I will try to put a link down in the description below if you guys need a set of those. Next up, we actually have our engine mounts here. Now, the engine mounts are definitely directional, so you're going to want to make sure you have the correct one on each side. If you notice the welding flange on the bottom of the cross member, it should be pointed towards the front of the truck. Kind of gives you an idea of where that actually is supposed to land. Now, TCI actually recommends to put the bolts on the top here, as I'm doing, and then line up the bottom bolt there, the long bottom bolt there. But I found it kind of be pretty difficult because you try to get that thing lined up and it ends up moving and flexes a little bit, and it's hard to kind of get that bolt started even from the backside. So what I actually ended up doing off camera is I actually put the bottom bolt in and then put the top 2 in after that once the bottom bolt was in, because that way I have an additional hole to kind of manipulate those bolts to go in. Next up is we actually have the sway bar mount. Now, this truck did not have a sway bar to begin with, so they do recommend obviously drilling new holes either way. Now, they want 3 inches from the end of the cross member there. You're going to measure 3 inches to the back of your sway bar bracket, and then mark your holes, of course. And then you're going to want to make sure everything's nice and square. And a good indication, I should say a good reference point, is to use the actual cross member is what I use for a good reference. Next up, we have the lower control arms. This is kind of why you wanted to drill that sway bar bracket mounting tab, because once you kind of start getting the rest of the suspension in, it's going to be really hard to obviously get in there and drill for the sway bar. Again, you're just going to kind of remove that bolt from the lower control arm, line it up as best as possible. And these lower control arms are directional, of course. Just utilize the end link to basically reference what side is what. The end link attachment for the sway bar should be pointed towards the front of the truck. And we're just going to, again, mock this thing in and just hand tight everything just to kind of get a good idea and see how everything fits. And then, of course, we have the upper control arm studs that we actually have to put in here. I'm going to go ahead and use Loctite in there now. They do recommend that, just because once this thing comes apart, we can send that off to powder coat, and it's not an issue if that's installed. But we're going to just go ahead and tighten these things up and make sure those things sit nice and flush. Make sure you thread them all the way down so that lower control arm and upper control arm actually line up correctly. We're going to use a couple of these shims that they are provided, aka washers, just to kind of get our upper control arm set and just have a good reference point. You can line it up later once you kind of get the truck aligned. Next up is the rear coilover, I should say front coilover. And obviously you have hardware that comes with it. We're not even going to put the washer in. Again, we're just kind of hand tightening, mocking things up here. Nothing too crazy, just upper and lower bolts. Next up, we also have the brake assembly from TCI. We ended up just going with this kind of standard brake assembly, nothing crazy, just a 12-inch rotor, as we're not going to be racing this thing. So we're just kind of going to do our best to kind of get this thing started. Might have to put a little pressure down there to get the castle nut on. And if you notice, because this brake assembly is assembled with the steering linkage arm, and we kind of had to move that up a little bit just to kind of get the castle nut started. So just kind of be wary about that if your brake assembly is already basically assembled. Next up is we have the rack here. The steering rack, you're going to have 2 long bolts that come with it. All the hardware should be along with it. But you're going to have these 2 large spacers that kind of go in between the cross member and the rack itself, along with a couple washers, one front, one back. There is a process that you're going to need to do to kind of get the rack and to center up when it comes to the actual steering column and everything else like that. But we're not going to do it here. We're going to do it obviously once for final assembly. Next up is this big mammoth jammoth of a sway bar. This thing's kind of heavy, very sturdy, robust. But again, that's why we pre-drilled all the holes on the frame. You're obviously going to make sure you got your bushing insulator in place there. We'll add some grease later on to those bushings. But you're going to have a sandwich plate that goes on the inside of the frame, as you guys can kind of see where I'm tightening it up there, with just some lock washers and nuts. Again, just kind of hand tighten everything, nothing crazy. We'll do the rest of the twerking once we final assembly this thing. But you're also going to have the end links that are going to be coming up. Those are a 2-piece part end link, and you're just going to kind of screw them together and then just kind of get a good reference point, line them up. You can obviously go up and down with them, and just depending on where your sway bar lands. Every truck's a little bit different, so just adjust as needed. Again, we're just going to kind of hand tighten everything. You should have a bunch of hardware that comes in your kit. One upper, one lower bolt there. Again, just super hand tight, nothing crazy, just to kind of get us a good reference point to make sure that everything fits.
Yeah, man, look at that. That looks freaking good. But man, that is a lot of work, fellas, not gonna lie. Definitely time consuming, a lot of work, whole lot of freaking just sweat, baby. But it looks freaking good. Sway bars, everything is basically mocked in. Nothing's tight. The only thing that I have tight really is this subframe underneath here, because that you really want to obviously have everything tight once you got all your holes drilled. But other than that, I mean, everything else is pretty much loose, because it's gonna have to get yanked right back off. Obviously to powder coat the frame, powder coat suspension, but man, that looks freaking sharp, fellas. I am digging it. Let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comments below. Of course, we're gonna move on to the back, hopefully on the next video. But I am digging the TCI kit, fellas. Like I said, it is a lot of work, but man, it is definitely worth it. Absolutely worth it, especially going with the steering rack versus the steering box. Absolute coilover setup. They have also the airbag setup that you can go with. You want to go wheel with brakes, they can do that too. We didn't opt for the wheel with brakes. We wanted just something basic, basically. None pun intended, but yeah, I mean, that should be more than enough. It's going to be a nice cruiser for sure. But I think that's going to do it for this video, you guys. If you guys are looking for the TCI kit, I will put a link down in the description below. You guys can check it out yourselves. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. But you guys already know, hit the subscribe button, the like button, and hit the bell for notifications. And stay wrenching.